Like Water for Chocolate, a story based on magical realism by Laura Esquivel. The novel follows the story of a young girl named Tita who longs her entire life to marry her lover, Pedro, but can never have him because of her mother's upholding of the family tradition of the youngest daughter not marrying but taking care of her mother until the day she dies. Tita is only able to express herself when she cooks. So, what is magical realism? For the example from the story, people are affected by Tita's repressions which were affected through her dishes. Today, we're talking about psychological criticism. Here's a brief summary of it. Psychological criticism, which drives governing human behaviors greater than Tita's unconscious desires, affects the people around you through the recipes she produced. And we are gonna explain how does the story related to psychoanalytic theory of personality, the id, the ego, and the superego. The id is the impulsive part of our psyche which responds directly and immediately to the instincts. The id demands immediate satisfaction, and when this happens we experience pleasure. When it is denied we experience unpleasure or pain. The id is not affected by reality, logic, or the everyday world. It operates on the pleasure principle, which is the idea that every wishful impulse should be satisfied immediately, regardless of the consequences. The id engages in primary process thinking, which is primitive, illogical, irrational, and fantasy-oriented. For example, she was thirsty. Rather than waiting for the server to refill her glass of water, she reached across the table and drank from her brother's water glass, much to his surprise. Another example, on Black Friday, customers were so obsessed with getting a good deal that they shoved others out of their way and trampled them, not thinking twice about hurting people if it meant they could get what they wanted. Now, let's connect it to the book. Pedro only wants to be with Tita, his one and only love. So was Tita. As Pedro said, I think it would be good for you to know before you make a decision that for me, having a child with you is the best stroke of luck, and to enjoy it the way we should, I would like to go far away from here with you. This shows that Pedro really cares about Tita and wants to be with her and start a family. This also shows that Pedro loves Tita a lot because he is willing to run away with her and leave everything behind to go and start a family with her. He rather wait for the right moment and convince Tita's mother. Instead, he wants to run away with her. Examples in real life: focus on yourself. Do whatever you want to do instead of caring for other people. Believe in everything you say is right. Ignore other people's idea. You only listen to what you believe or agree on. Force people to understand or accept your idea. According to Freud, the ego is part of personality that mediates the demands of the id, the superego, and reality. While the ego operates in both the preconscious and conscious, its strong ties to the id means that it also operates in the unconscious. You didn't have an opinion, and that's all I want to hear about it, for next generations. Not a single person in my family has ever questioned this tradition. And no daughter of mine is going to be the one to start. This shows that Tita's mother believed in the tradition that the youngest daughter can't be married and be in love because she has to take care of her mother in the future. Superego is the part of your mind that tells you whether what you are doing is morally right or wrong. Example of superego: Sarah knew that she could steal the supplies from work and no one would know about it. However, she knew that stealing was wrong, so she decided not to take anything even though she would probably never get caught. She had already made up her mind to marry without love. Tita wants to marry Pedro, but she knew that her mother wouldn't let her because she has to follow the family tradition.